Alright. Whew, shit. Be yawning for no reason, just to yawn. Alright. It's been a while since we watched, I don't know, I think I've reacted to at least one of Barney's videos on here, but it was a long ass time ago, because Barny64, is one of those YouTubers where they post at least one video a year. Yeah, she's mostly it's mostly World of Warcraft stuff, and I've never really played the game except once for like 20 minutes back in the day, and that was on a free trial. It's like, it's not, from what I heard, it's not beginner friendly these days anymore, so I don't know if I'll ever play it. I might, but yeah, but support my eternal struggle to upload more than one video a year. Yeah, their World of Warcraft stuff, I can't even remember how. I think I just got recommended one of their videos just randomly, but they're so funny. Even though I don't play World of Warcraft, I'm invested. Like, Barny64, check them out. If you've never heard of Barny64 before, I recommend.
What you are witnessing here is a level 69 undead rogue, 72 experience points away from level 70, about to kill Kel'Thuzad for the last time. Once I don't know why, but the slow descent into misery.
The last couple of videos we've been watching, y'all, YouTube's been trying to set it to 240, and I'm like, what the fuck? No. I know my internet gets spotty sometimes, but
it's time for rep farming, to enter dungeons, to rep farm, to enter the same dungeon, but worse. Rep farm to gain entry to content and once I kill this lich, only pain and suffering awaits me, but at least I get to share this moment with my guild, the guild I had all my classic adventures with.
20k, let's go!
Yes, I did! Let's fucking go!
Let's go!
Hell yeah.
It that's a clip.
At least, at the very least, we'll always have each other. And then the GMs went rogue and stole 100k from the G-Bank and transferred off, but that's a story for another time.
What? Oh, damn! The betrayal. So extra. Love it. Like, the intros to their videos alone are usually just so good. The way it walks, I can't.
Welcome to the end of
Simple
Classic.
text.
Last adventure I, well, you know, obtained Scarab Lord across a grand tetralogy, delivering unto you my magnum opus. A series so cool and epic, I got my own Wowhead article written about me. Thank you. I know, 42 whole words.
Yay!
Thought, huh? A series so poggers, we
Nice,
sold out all
yay.
the plushies in like 3 days.
Nah. Also got $40,000 stolen. Woo!
The series was so swag. They put me in Hearthstone. What? Oh, you don't think this is a me reference? This card could have been any race, any class, but they specifically chose Rogue. Undead Rogue. Are you not convinced? Because I'm not convinced. I think I'm actually reading into this too much and I just have an ego now. It's not like the card says a quote from my video when you play it or anything. Oh wait, it totally fucking does that. I'm not just a Scarab Lord.
I'm not just a Scarab Lord.
I'm the Scarab Lord.
Damn.
The Scarab Lord!
Oh my god, they said the line. What more is there to say? The accolades you have all showered me with is beyond anything I could have expected. I put my entire heart, soul, body, and mind into that project. It was nothing short of a labor of love with so much thought and care put into it. I can't possibly top it. I've peaked. It's all downhill from here. But you'll join me for the ride back down, right? Right?
Hey man, I think I speak for everyone here when I say, we come here to listen to your stories because we just love to hear you tell them. Whether it's
Oh
a
God,
cinematic
the emotional
masterpiece
music.
crafted over multiple years, or just a simple tale of how you camped some bozo. We'll be here to listen because if you're the one telling the story, well, that's a story that we want to hear.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. This guy's being nice in World of Warcraft.
Let's get him.
So as you might have deduced from the title, this video
Toxics
takes place
only.
during the tail end of WoW Classic, specifically the last 3 weeks. Our story begins on May 10th, 2021 with a blue post from community manager Kyvax, which reads the following. In order to prepare our game service to be ready for both the upgrade to the Burning Crusade Classic and the availability of Classic era realms, so excited for those, we will close the auction houses on all WoW Classic realms at 10 AM PDT on Friday, May 14th. We expect auction houses to become available again when the game service resumes following maintenance on May 18th. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your understanding. And everyone understood. The end. I mean, no one understood. Congratulations for having this stupid idea. Why? Seems like something that can be easily avoided. 4 days for a job that should take 2 hours? Yawn. Cloud and Data Solutions Architect here. This is the dumb. It's 4 days. What's your description of a few? I don't think that word means what you think it means. Beware the Ides of May. Don't mind me just necroing this post for a video. Lol. It was obvious the people were upset. 4 days was a very long time to go without the auction house, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Well, nothing most
That last song
people
was
could
the
do
Maple
about it.
Story
But
Market
what
theme.
if?
How do you just know that,
What
Yomi?
if there was a freedom-loving Orgrimmarican patriot out there who could utilize their exorbitant social capital to start a movement against this decision? What if they got on their raptor, because they're still hiding their Scarab Lord mount at this point in the timeline, and started protesting outside Orgrimmar Auction House? Well, it just might work. Don't close the auction house, Blizz.
What he be doing, man?
Back and forth I march, patrolling the entrance. The voice the people needed. Flash 2, wave 2. Don't close the auction house, Blizz. This is the best idea I've ever had in my life.
He be losing his mind, man.
Of course, those who seek to usher in positive change will always be ridiculed for their compassion, their message twisted and bastardized by reactionary grifters. But in this world of Warcraft, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. 6 hours later. Somehow, my peaceful protest had spiraled out of control and was now a riot. How on earth did
Shocker.
that happen? Anyway,
Shocker.
our new message was pretty clear. If we can't use the auction house, we're gonna
600
burn it to the
hours?
fucking
Jesus
ground.
Christ, Yomi.
Paid somebody 28 gold to buy a Kodo. They better
Oh, damn. Oh,
Just then,
damn.
an agent of the bourgeoisie arrived on scene to disrupt the protest with Emerald Dragonkin, Mass Root, the only effective tool against a horde of stampeding mounts. But a minor inconvenience to be sure. I spent 15 hours in Ashenvale killing these mobs for my Green Shard quest, so really, what's one more kill surrounded by my people? I mean, if anything, the fact we were being met with such extreme resistance from the elites served only to validate our noble cause and boost morale. You can keep kiting Emerald Dragonkin in from Ashenvale to temporarily root us, but you'll never stop us. Keep pushing for the fallen, for the merchants, for the whore. Anyway, the auction house is closed on May 14th as planned. What, did you really think I could make a difference? I have to cry on Twitter to get Dragonflight Alpha access. I'm powerless, under the radar, like a Smite priest in a GDKP. Blizzard had taken away our auction houses, but the Horde will endure, for the Horde is strong. Romulus Farmers Market. Saturday.
The fucking random
Auction
sample
house
text.
Closed, bitch. Come by and sell your shit at the gates. Also, Frugo, can I just say, great choice on the Naruto font here. Indeed, One valiant Tauren had stepped up to give the Horde direction in its hour of need. A time and a place to buy and sell wares physically in person, virtually in World of Warcraft. And what could be more in the spirit of Classic than reconnecting with a bygone age? Decades of gaming had trained me for this very moment. And am I not now the master of sales because of it? My product is good. So damn good, in fact, that in Wrath Classic, you people still can't stop begging me for a Lucky Charm. A bit I only did in one single video. That was all it took. Bam! You were hooked. Wanna know why? Because I will not make garbage. I've produced a product that performs as advertised. It's lucky, probably. I'm going to attend this farmer's market with my last batch of Lucky Charms, and I'm going to death roll people for them. If they win, they get a Lucky Charm. If they lose, they give me 25 gold. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
sure
if
this is gonna
somehow
go
you are
really well.
unaware as to what death rolling even is, allow me to explain. But before I do, please remember this one thing about gambling. Statistically, you will hit it big if you just keep playing. So here's how death rolling works. One person rolls a dice with an agreed upon amount of sides. The second person then rolls that previous result, and you follow this pattern until someone hits 1. That person is the loser. It's very complicated stuff.
You owe 5 gold for this spot.
I turn to the Tauren slowly. If you try to shake me down, I will burn your parents' house to the ground. Trade cancelled. The farmer's market had barely been open 30 seconds, and already shady folk were trying to scam. It really did feel like the virtual markets of yore.
This is no shakedown. This is a fee you owe.
Don't go to Thunderbluff tomorrow. Death roll! Death roll for an authentic Barney B Lucky Charm. The last batch of Classic. 25 gold to play.
Oh shit! Pog! Death rolls for Lucky Charms?
So who wants a piece of the action, huh?
I accept.
Called out a voice from the crowd. It was Henrik Steggles, the Thistle Tea Thrifter himself. In the dark times when the evil bots camped every Swift Thistle node and price-fixed our precious rogue resource, Steggles was there to provide tea for a reasonable price. However, there is no honor among thieves. He may have done me a service in the past, but today I will make a mug of the Thistle Tea Thrifter. Mug is like British slang for an idiot, and you drink tea out of a mug. These jokes are lost on like so many of you. Actually, I think that just wasn't funny. Hey, shut up. Whose side are you on?
You may roll first.
Hold on a second. The person who rolls first can potentially lose on the very first roll. Does he know rolling second is more advantageous, or was he just being polite? Damn, now we're gathering a crowd, and I've already monologued in my head far too long to make asking him go first not awkward. I have to roll first, and when I do, precedent is set that I roll first every time. Fuck! This guy's good. Okay, don't worry, I've got this. We'll just have to... get lucky. Slash roll 250. I roll a 137. Steggles rolls a 31. I like those odds. I roll and lose the game. Yup.
I will treasure this with my life.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm lucky with you. Whatever. Who's next?
That was so quick. So quick.
Slash roll 250. I roll a 26. Ethereal rolls a 21. I roll and lose the game. Again. Woot? Man, who the fuck says woot in 2021? Who's next?
Okay.
Replied Whack.
Oh my God.
You know some shit. I lost this one too.
You lost?
Yes, that's what I said. Were you listening? Okay, well that's 3 losses in a row. I can't possibly lose any more, right? Then I lost again. And again. And again. And again. And again. Okay, you know what? I can't be giving these away anymore. This is a terrible idea. This is not profitable at all. I gotta change my angle here. Ooh, I think I just came up with the perfect one. Introducing the Barney Beekeeper Lucky Charm. In real life. Wow! Tangible object on sale for real money. Wow.
Oh my
How
God.
it's made. Cast in a mithril alloy, smelted in the fires of Black
Here
Rock
we
Mountain,
go.
hand polished, deburred, and powder
Okay,
coated
Barney,
with true
this
silver
time,
for a textured finish.
Let's not have like $40,000 of your profits stolen from you this time, okay? All right? I appreciate the hustle, but let's not get, you know, the thieves be thieving. Let's not have a repeat.
The Lucky Charm is then hand-filled with molten saronite, the blood of an old... I'm just joking. It's filled with honey. I'm a beekeeper. Just ignore the otherworldly glow. Ignore the whispers. All that you know will fade. Kill them all. before they kill you. The charm is then placed snugly into its own holster. Heat formed
Also,
real leather.
I need to
sourced
point
from
out,
the flesh of my
when she was
last
talking
honored
earlier,
kill.
when
They
she's doing
told
the
me
whole
leatherworking was useless, but just look at that buckle style
roll the dice
fastening
thing,
and
and they said
tasteful
woo.
stitching.
She said,
Beautiful.
"Who
Attach
says
it to
woo
your
in
bag, your keys,
2021?"
or just wear it on your belt, as
I
is
caught
all the
that.
rage in the Undercity.
I'm just pointing it out.
Wearing the authentic
Oh,
Barney
fuck.
Beekeeper lucky charm attached to my 4-strength, 4-stem leather belt? Yeah, I am. Don't go outside. No problem. Just take it out the holster and put it on your desk, nerd.
Yeah, but like, what does it do?
What does it do? It's lucky. Probably.
I'll take 25. I'm getting commission for this, right?
No. Finally, the charm is placed
Damn.
into its resting box, decorated ornately with the beekeeper's sigil, where it will await your purchase at
Barny64.com.
But wait, there's more. Inherit the nightmare with this striking, dramatic artwork by
Lunatic Moon Art.
depicting that time I totally
The
owned that
fucking
made
voice.
version of myself from another timeline. God, that was so sick. Or celebrate the Scarab Lord adventures with this fun, colorful piece by
Yo Basic.
filled with tons of fun details and community favorites. These beautiful posters are available in metal, canvas, or good old-fashioned classic paper. What the fuck was that? Oh no, not you. How did you get it? Yes,
Now
the
that-
infamous Barney Beekeeper plushie is officially back on the market.
The one where
All
you-
these items are available now for pre-order,
$40,000
and don't worry,
got stolen.
influencer stuff is not involved at all. We experienced
they the one that
some,
stole
shall
that
we
money.
say, difficulties with that last
got that
batch of
money,
merch,
money.
but rest assured, my new partners are just the best. In fact, they are also victims of influencer stuff, and he owes them a lot more money than he owes me. It's one of the reasons I actually wanted to work with them in particular. I figured since we're both probably never getting paid because it's worse than you could possibly imagine, we may as well lift each other up out the mud. It's kind of poetic. So if you, dear viewer, want to support my eternal struggle to upload more than one video in a year, head on over to Barny64.com and give me money because I deserve it. And let's just set the record straight, okay? I'm not now leaving the market because I've been completely rinsed for all my Lucky Charms. I have a raid to attend on my Shadow Priest. Huh? What? Huh? Wow, I mean, what? Shadow Priests in World of Warcraft Classic are really bad. Like, unmistakably in your face, how is this even a thing bad? Out of all the developer-intended specs Classic has to offer, Shadow Priest is the only one truly worthless on a multi-dimensional level. Item 1, they don't do damage. Let's check out
What?
my favorite website, WoW Logs, and take a random
Wait.
top 50 full BIS Shadow Priest log for Phase 1 and 2 Molten Core. Wow, nice overall damage, not bad, and with full world buffs too. You should be very proud. Now Jarvis, show me Uber Danger's logs. You see what I mean? Even if you are a top contender on Shadow Priest, your talents are utterly wasted because somewhere on the other side of the globe is a Moroccan-Danish stoner, spending up to 60 seconds a fight not swinging at the boss, and you are still only just barely clearing his damage. And also, because I'm a dick, WoW Logs is for pussies and bitches, by the way. Item 2, they can't do damage. What do I mean by this? Well, unlike every other version of WoW that exists in the vast WoW-scape, this game has a debuff cap of 16, which is bad. And when you can only have 16 debuffs on a boss, you typically want to use the slots on the best debuff available. And sure, Shadow Word Pain might be responsible for like 20% of a Shadow Priest damage, but you cannot divide
Oh my
by
god, my
zero.
fucking eyes!
And let's face it, Shadow Word Pain is just not Thunder Armor now, is it? The game is rigged. You brought Dental Floss to a gunfight, and you are quite literally not allowed to play. And even if you were to somehow get into a raid by the grace of a loon, you're probably going to be told by your sensei, hey, don't let me catch you going all out, okay? This guy needs to Sunder Armor.
Me hit boss.
Item 3, they won't do damage? This is just how it is, okay? No self-respecting guild is ever going to gear a Shadow Priest into the position of being able to pump, because that gear is just gonna go to literally any other person who can take it. C'est la vie. So why am I gearing a Shadow Priest? Well, Mage Me from another timeline.
Oh, no, same, Yuko. But they do it in such an entertaining way. I can't look away.
But more importantly, if I want Glaives of Azeroth priority in TBC, I need a Shadow Priest ult. And I realize that I have now left you with more questions, but if you look down, you'll notice this is the part where you've actually become entangled in another great web, which will surely have a payoff in which I'm definitely releasing this year. I hope I don't get scammed. Listen, focus. All you need to know right now is that it is imperative to my World of Warcraft career's continuance.
Next video coming next year.
Shadow Priest, but play it at a competitive level, or at the very least learn how to cheese WoW logs to make it look like I'm playing at a competitive level, but WoW logs is for pussies and bitches. The final boss of Anchorage drops a ring, which is so good for Shadow Priests, it's still Biss next expansion for an entire phase. Meaning, if I can secure this ring right now, I will be so many numbers of steps ahead, you guys. When we're raiding Karazhan next expansion and Ring of Recurrence drops, I can go, everyone, I'm passing. I already got my Biss.
Dude, you're so thoughtful.
What a team player.
You definitely deserve glaives. I'm gonna send you all my gold. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe.
No, for fuck's sake. Yeah, that seems real,
so cool. But back to reality.
realistic.
How the fuck do you get into a raid as a Shadow Priest when not even a GDKP will take you? Well, I have the answer. You lie. So this is my Shadow Priest alt Vileplume.
Wow.
Vileplume, and if I'm being completely honest here, I could give a fuck about playing anything other than Rogue. As such, Vileplume is your modern, no lamp grow, no artificial, no quests, no meaningful journey. Boost it to 60 in 48 hours.
That hippie looking guy?
No. This alt goes against everything I know and love
I can't
about
remember his name.
classic experience. But for glaives, we do what we must.
He's
For
popped up a
glaives,
couple of
we
times in my
return to the
recommended.
shadow. Or I guess the light in this case.
I think
mean,
he,
it is a miracle my priest looks
plays
this good
World of
considering they're
Warcraft
only
or
like a
something?
week
Like he's
old.
famous for that on
Three-piece
YouTube?
Bloodvine set, Sash of Whispered Secrets, Cloak of
But he
Consumption,
also
which is
reacts to
literally Biss, but
videos
he's-
sometimes, I think.
This might be the coldest a Shadow Priest has ever looked after 50 hours of gameplay. A story for every piece of gear acquired. I recorded none of it. No. You guys, I am so many levels of undercover, you have no idea. I'm a rogue, masquerading as a Shadow Priest, masquerading as a Holy Priest, masquerading as a guy online, and all this just to avoid healing? Yes. Healing sucks, hello? It's that simple. I'm not even going on a tangent where I show my working and do a bunch of jokes about why healing sucks. The sky is fucking blue, okay? You wanna fight me about that? I will smite you. Literally, I will smite you. I'm not in Holy Spec to heal. I am going to spam Smite, the only offensive single target holy spell, and let the light do the rest. And when I say spam Smite, I mean cast it like 5 times and go because this spell sucks. Why does it cost so much mana? Oh, you thought Shadow DPS sucked? Wait till you see my patented Smite Priest. And I'm only you won't see me at all. Because I'm a rogue. If you look at the DPS meters and see a Holy Priest at the bottom, what do? You ignore it. Actually, you don't even ignore it. Your conscious brain doesn't even acknowledge it. You subconsciously glance over it. Because a Holy Priest being at the bottom of a DPS meter is not a red flag. It is my green disguise. I am right where I should be, hidden in plain sight. Now let's
Oh my
smite
god,
some
this is so
fucking blood.
much.
Welcome to Anchorage. So the first boss of Anchorage is the Prophet Scarum. You must interrupt his 1-second AoE explosion. You must polymorph the people he mind controls. And when he spawns illusions, you must focus them. If you ignore any of these mechanics, you are fucking griefing. I am fucking griefing. Just look at these numbers. When do you ever get to see a Smite Priest pop up? And I'm well, that was fun. Except my cover is totally going to be blown here because this raid is filled with fucking scrubs. Gul'dan Ramsey can get a pass. He barely leaves Fell's kitchen, but how am I meant to hide at the bottom of the DPS meter if I'm pumping harder than 9 other DPS as a fucking Smite Priest? I'm getting stressed, guys. You don't get it. If I get caught here, it's not just ejection I face, okay?
Maple
it's
Story
a full-blown ban from every
Theme
GDKP
Town?
in the
Oh my
Corpulous
god.
GDKP network because they all share a blacklist.
That actually makes
GDKP
sense.
is serious
That's
business.
so funny
How else is anyone gonna
that they're
launder their gold?
using that music.
The next encounter is Silithid Royalty. You can kill the 3 bugs in any order, but only the last one you kill drops loot. As such, you typically want to kill Kree last as he drops the most valuable items, so 9 times out of 10 your encounter will look a little something like this. You start by focusing Princess Yauj first, because her AoE fear is fucking annoying. Not that I would know. Next, you focus Vem, the easiest of the 3, but watch out for his charge move. It's fucking brutal. Also, I'm Finally, we deal with Kree. With his AoE melee cleave and AoE ranged poison, there is nowhere Kree cannot get you. And because he is the last bug alive, he is now dealing double damage with increased attack speed. I'm sorry, Sensei, but for this bug, I'm going to have to go all... And I'm Well, that was fun. Also, when Kree dies, he drops poison all around him, which is guaranteed to kill at least one noob who just couldn't wait to see the loot. Lol. Next up is Battleground Sartora, or as I like to call it, the Blender. At any given time, Sartora can just start spinning on your shit, dealing insane damage, which wouldn't be so bad if she wasn't flanked by 3 fuckers who can cause utter
The
chaos
helicopters
with their
are
knockback.
coming for your
In an
ass.
organized raid, the 3 ads will be grouped, stun-locked, and bursted down on pull, so you can just focus Sartora. In this raid, it was open season on Scrubs.
Oh, fuck, we don't have it.
Not looking good. Oh, now someone.
I tried, buddy. I tried.
Hold her steady.
God, I fucking miss being a rogue.
You heard it. Stay in.
See? It's fine.
It was a hard-fought battle. We had suffered many casualties at the hands of the Blender, but ultimately, we stood victorious.
That went a lot better than expected.
You got your secret weapon in the raid, that's why.
Yeah, Jay?
Yeah.
What?
Jay. Now we move on to the Gauntlet, a long corridor teeming with bugs. So many bugs, so many bugs, so many bugs. I am pressing Holy Nova. I am out DPSing mages. Don't worry, guys. Save your mana for the real challenge up ahead.
And Chris, the unyielding.
What horrible mechanics lie in wait? You just stand and hit. But honestly, this might be my favorite fight in the raid.
What?
Just hear
Welcome
me out,
back.
okay? This raid fucking sucks. Like,
We've been
every
watching
single
some
fight has you running
Barny64.
around chasing the boss like a dickhead. It's awful. But on this fight, this one fight, I can just pump. And when the ads come in right at the end and you get to group up and press Sapper, I don't have a Sapper, but when you get to press Holy Nova in a raid encounter, it's just so refreshing. And I'm and I'm and I'm And now we move on to the most controversial encounter in the entire raid. I am, of course, talking about Viscidus. Firstly, this boss deals so much nature damage, it was mandatory during progression to bring an entire nature resist set. This set would be a monstrous amalgamation of expensive bind-on-equip items, crafted items, and low eye-level boss drops. And you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't that affect your damage? And here's the fun part. This boss, this festering glob, this gelatinous pest, is immune to all damage. Feel free to pump into Viscidus as much as you
Looks
see
like a
fit. His
glob
health
of
bar will
snot
never
with a
deplete.
skeleton.
This is because you must first hit Viscidus with 200 individual instances of frost damage to freeze him. Now, for casters, this is great. You just get the cheapest, fastest frost one and go crazy. For rogues, you have to farm the final boss of Razorfen Crawl for not 1, but 2 cold rage daggers.
Don't be
and then
having
also buy
the World of
disproportionately
Warcraft peeps
expensive
coming
frost
for my
oil,
ass,
all to have
alright?
an 18%
I
chance
find it
to
funny,
deal 1
but they
instance
probably
of
won't.
frost damage per swing. The range bias in this game has been clear as day since 2004. Once frozen, you must now hit Viscidus with 75 melee hits to shatter him into 20 finally vulnerable blobs. Kill as many blobs as you can before they rejoin in the middle, and you have to do this all over again. Luckily, this is classic, and everyone is an engineer, so you just sapper everything for an easy 1 phase. That's right, there is no part of this fight where you actually get to play. Look, my mana is full.
Yeah, I've only played this game
The
for
next
like
boss encounter is
I think I said
Princess
this earlier, for like
Hooran.
20
She has
minutes.
Mechanics, but
back. It was a long ass time ago. It was like a free trial.
you pretty
I
much
played
just
for
stand and hit.
maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 at most.
4 resos just ran away.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have raid frames open. It's difficult for me to know.
Oh my god. How do you heal?
Huh? It was at this moment I had been busted. Anyway, I'm still not gonna heal. As it turns out, the raid leader, who I know to be a pretty good player actually, is the pilot responsible for this bottom fragging scrub rogue. And despite being told I couldn't play Shadow, this was Bring Your Rat to Raid Day, apparently. So now I'm just stuck playing Smite Breathe. I could have actually been Shadow. No one would have done anything. This ruse was for nothing. And now I have to explain Twin Emperor's mechanics? I'm not doing it.
Oro.
Oh god, I'm definitely not explaining this fight either. I'm also not even participating. Goodbye, cruel world. Who the fuck
Like, I
soulstoned
would
me? Is
have
there
given
no
it a
rest for the
try.
wicked? Honestly.
You betray your friends.
Cthulhu, darling, I'm a smite priest. I've been betraying them this... Wait, have I been under Cthulhu's influence this whole time? Oh god, I've been intentionally griefing my friends who graciously allowed my
Oh my
rat
god,
priest to...
oh for fuck's sake. Okay, this is getting dramatic even more. Yeah, I would have played World of Warcraft, but at the time when it was like started to hit its peak in popularity, or just even when it came out, it's like I didn't have money, so I couldn't buy it or have the subscription or whatever. So when the free trial came out, it's like, I'll give it a try. But it was even then, but I heard it's worse today. It's not really new player friendly anymore. It used to be in the beginning, but not really anymore. It's you lying on the ground.
Come to this raid super last
That'd be
minute,
me in
and
this
now I'm
game,
dying on
just
purpose to sandbag
dead
even
on the
harder?
ground.
What have I become? What should I do?
All the
There's
time.
only one encounter left. How do I make this right? Should I heal? Should I heal? No. WoWlog says I'm pumping.
Fucking hell.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times can I even cuss Mike? Never wanna damage me and never wanna lie. Cause you know I'm on the cover picture keeping outside. I'm always out of line, but I'm getting hella gas. Cause the number that this website gave me tells me that you're trash. So I'm pumping up and never healing, bitch, I am the best. They asked me if I could play holy, I told them, bitch, yes.
My mana is low.
And you're trash.
And that's how I got a Abyss ring on my Shadow Priest. It's all coming together. And we'll check in
Okay,
for more
but when
Vile
it-
Plume subplot later. But
where do I
because
get
I'm
this
so cool and
song?
popular, and I'm just doing cool and popular shit like all the time, I actually have yet another place to be. Mirage Raceway. Once there was racing here. Now,
We in a Western drama?
only a few stalwart racers and fans remain. Until now. May 15th, 6 p.m. Multiple races featuring competition by class, variations of consumes and chance abilities, fun run for all attendees, and my favorite part, 800 golden prize money. Well, I think I know what I'll be doing at 6 p.m. on May 15th. However, if you think I am just going to go into this race unprepared, I beg you, rewatch my entire catalog of WoW videos with ad block off, sub to my Twitch channel, buy my merch, and then reevaluate who the fuck you think it is you're watching. I will be racing against every other rogue who shows up, but this isn't just a race. This is a virtual rank measuring contest. And I'm a dagger user. So I need to not only beat every other rogue, I need to decimate every other rogue. I need every other rogue to know, I'm nothing like you other rogues. I'm clicking my shit and you still couldn't go log for log. I got a Realm First playing on a Steam Deck. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm sipping straight Saronite battling Eldritch Horrors. My mount's so fast it make that global cooldown feel like I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, you stupid piece of shit. I've been running laps around
Thanks
this
for
course
reminding
all
me,
day,
Yuka.
optimizing my route for maximum efficiency. But that's not all. I've amassed an array of tricks and trinkets, anything and everything to give me that extra edge in the competition. The nifty stopwatch, which I acquired during leveling last year, will finally be dusted off to grant 40% move speed for 10 seconds. The Skull of Impending Doom, also acquired during leveling last year, in the same zone no less, will too be dusted off for you liking this RP for 60% move speed for 10 seconds. Goblin Rocket Boots, if I'm lucky, won't explode and will grant 70% move speed for 20 seconds. Hold on one moment. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, these suspicious potions I bought from a shady salesman allegedly will give me 50% move speed for 15 seconds. Heading over to the rogue trainer, I can unlearn my talents to spec into preparation so I can reset the cooldown of sprint. And now to go to Stranglethorn for the final ingredient. As I boarded the blimp, I was met with my biggest fans, Dawnbreakers. You might remember this guild from the Peace Bloom DKP. Now on their way to drop a heart buff on Yojumba Isle, which just so happens to be the one world buff I'm missing and where I was headed anyway. Wow, how did I get so lucky? Hey, Dawnbreakers. But good luck luck in your expedition.
Very subtle.
Your mom. Oh, sorry. Fresh out a peace balloon for you.
Sad face.
Gross is Barney.
Can I join a group for a portal
Wow.
to Thunderblood?
No.
Luckily, not everyone is a dick like these guys. I picked up the final ingredient, a Zanza potion of swiftness for 20% flat move speed, leeched the heart buff, and took a portal back to Thunderbluff to continue my training. With preparation like this, I cannot possibly lose.
Oh no.
It was a clear, arid evening at the Mirage Raceway, the bleachers audibly creaking and heaving under the weight of too many Tauren. The excitement palpable on the dry air. And I know I say this every time, but just look at this turnout. Grobulus, you've done it again. Humans and orcs united as one for an evening of high-octane speed racing. It matters not your race at the racetrack, for there is one thing at the racetrack you are measured by: your speed.
Yeah, I think I would have liked playing this if I had had
And let's just say
like
I'm glad I don't
friends
have to
I
race
would
in the warrior
consistently
bracket
be able to
because the
group up
Flash
with.
is in attendance, ladies
But I
and
hate
gentlemen.
talking
All this footage
to
was filmed
like
before that Ezra
new
Miller
people
stuff. Finland,
in
this
games.
Is not a good look.
Chris trying to flex your gold stack on the stream.
Because
Boil you alive. So
some
let's go
people,
over how the race I'm running in will work.
some
In
people,
stark
I'm
contrast
like,
to the no spells, no abilities, no items,
No,
Fox only,
just
final
no.
destination. Race I am currently using as B-roll footage. My race is going to be a full fun allowed ordeal. One by one, each class moves up to start their race, leaving around 20 seconds in between each class bracket so that, you know, this thing doesn't take all night because 2 races per class. You gotta wait for each class to go around the whole track. If we did this one by one, we would actually be here all night. Once the race is finished, each winner from their respective class then lines up for a winners only screenshot, followed by a special gift given by Gul'dan himself. I feel like I've heard this somewhere before. No. I have butterflies in my stomach. My palms are sweaty. There's vomit on my tablet already. Chill wind Yeti. Wish me luck. I'm not gonna need it.
Rogues, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go.
So right out the gate, we opened with Goblin Rocket Boots, which luckily didn't explode. I lost around a second from hitting my Deafen macro, which also makes me jump for some reason, but that's okay. I've already climbed my way into first place because Goblin Rocket Boots are faster than Sprint, which most of these rogues naively opened with. Also unrelated, but I just love looking back at post-Scarab Lord acquisition, but pre-Scarab Lord video release footage where I'm just baiting literally everyone who decides to whisper me about Scarab Lord. I got that fucking mount, I didn't even get to use it because I didn't want to spoil the ending. Next, I popped my first sprint, and at the same time, I unequipped my rocket boots to put on my swift boots, which I forgot to mention in my list earlier, but that section is already edited and timed perfectly
Jesus
to background
Christ.
music for optimal pacing, so just deal with it. As I drank my swiftness potion, I noticed specs coming up on the inside of the track, and fast. I popped preparation to reset the cooldown of sprint, but specs overtook me with his second sprint. Riding the ambiguous inside of the track was a smart technique, but unfortunately for specs, I'm the fucking goat. He quickly fell behind off screen along with the warrior bracket as I comboed the end of my sprint into the nifty stopwatch. At this point, I had a considerable, nigh unbeatable lead and was literally lapping people in other brackets. So much for the Flash, Finland. But I still wasn't done. My
Damn.
swift boots, now ready for action, provided me a short burst of move speed, and once that buff was over, I put my final move to use, the Skull of Impending Doom. The hours of training and time spent amassing these items had bought me a considerable lead, and I was now able to just coast to the end of the track. But if I might dedicate this victory to something, let the record show that it was not my meticulous planning or rigorous training that secured me this victory.
Finish!
But the crushed up amphetamines Mion put into my ice cream cone not moments before the race started. Mion, my friend, I could
Damn.
not have done it without you.
In the winner's circle, if you would like
Spiked
to give us
ice
a cheer,
cream.
a growl, a yell, a flex, whatever you think looks best.
After the event, I was mailed my share of the winnings, 78 gold and 57 silver, minus 3 gold for the potions, minus 3 gold for the swift boots, minus 50 gold for the respec, minus 600 gold for the shadow priest ring. So all in all, a pretty good day of playing World of Warcraft. But before I go to bed, let's take a moment to talk about my guild. Now, the plan for Final Boss was always to disband at the end of Classic. That's not to say most of us aren't sticking together going into TBC, but you know how guilds go. Cliques form, rivalries established, loot drama causes splinters, and at the end of the day, Final Boss had already served its original purpose. We had secured the record for the most number of Scarab Lords in one guild, and we had secured every realm first raid clear. Working together under the best leadership I've ever seen in a guild, we did some downright incredible things. But even incredible things must come to an end. In the weeks leading up to the Final Boss Awards night, where we would officially disband and go our separate ways, those who were planning on sticking around for what would essentially become Final Boss 2 were able to anonymously submit new potential potential guild names.
I don't trust
and
the chill
logos,
music
and
that's
whichever got the
happening
most
right now.
votes would win. But the thing with really good World of Warcraft
I don't
players
trust-
is, typically speaking, they don't have a fucking creative bone in their body. No flame. I mean, just listen to
damn.
Kurfos doing karaoke.
I just want to say it now. I'm trying to wind up drama, little mama. Don't want to take your man. I don't want to come off like a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there if I was you.
But I'm trying to tell what it can't be treated like clientele because they said she's delicious.
This guy can frame perfect stance, dance, wave dash with Japanese ping, but ask him to catch the beat and it's like trying to get blood from a stone. All that is to say, when I tell you these names and logos sucked, I'm actually doing them a favor by underselling the reality of the utter creative bankruptcy I was forced to experience. You think I'm overselling it? Here was my submission that was
Simple
winning by an
text.
uncontested landslide. Like, are you serious? And reminder, this was an anonymous submission contest. This wasn't winning because people wanted to side with me, the content creator. This was winning because every other submission sucked ass. But that night, after the races, after everyone had gone to bed, disaster struck. Terra Orc, the true owner and GM of Final Boss, one of the most chaotic people I have ever played with, decided to do something pretty fucking funny. He kicked every single person from the guild, locked the Discord, and logged off.
I don't care. Elemental Mastery, Chain Lightning, Frost Shock.
I awoke
Damn.
to utter chaos, but much worse than that, I awoke to a new guild name, and it wasn't sample text. The only leadership online during the Terra Orc Crisis event, those who would have to pick up the pieces and form the new guild, were obviously not concerned with who won the shitty Discord naming contest. They were concerned with setting up a guild and a Discord and all the permissions and all the bureaucracy bullshit that comes with that stuff, and they just had to use the pieces they had at the time. And so it was that Final Boss ended, and in its place emerged Murmur. Wow, nice name. Wow. Dude, does this name suck or what? Murmur? Wait, the last boss of Shadow Labyrinth? Is this guy even that sick? Let me check his lore. Yeah, this guy is not sick, you guys. Ooh, he's so powerful. When he got summoned, he blew up Arkandoon. Guys, Illidan is in this expansion, you know that, right? Like, the bar for sick guys is pretty high. Murmur? Later that evening, with the bitter taste of the name Murmur still settling on our tongues, we made the long trek up Hyjal Mountain to stand at the foot of Nordrassil for the Guild Awards as planned. An evening of celebration for all we as a collective have achieved.
I don't think any other guild can say that they did the same things that we were able to do.
But also a time to recognize individuals for their unique contributions to the guild.
I don't really cry that much, but
I took home the award for Scarab War MVP, delicious, but in truth, the Guild Awards were just a distraction. Final Boss is far too infamous to simply just disband in Hyjal after a cute night of autofellation. Pre-patch drops tomorrow. This was our final chance for a final ride as Final Boss. What you are witnessing here is 80 level 60 Horde players about to storm Ironforge and kill King Magni Bronzebeard. It's going to be a complete and utter massacre.
Doing 90 in the Prius trying to make it.
Teleporting to Orgrimmar, we took a flight path to Splinter Tree Outpost in Ashenvale. You normies probably don't know what it's like to have assassin squads tracking down your every move, even to the peaks of Hyjal Mountain during a guild event no less. But just know that summonless operations like this require a carefully planned route. Why Splinter Tree Outpost and not Zoram Strand if our target is the Orbadine Pier in Darkshore? So we can run through Astronar to make it look like we're targeting Night Elf territory? Anyone tracking us at this point would assume we are leading an attack onto Teldrassil by way of Darkshore, when really, we're heading in the opposite direction to Menethil Harbor. Menethil Harbor, of course, because whilst Ironforge is closer, this still leaves room for
This
the
is
Alliance
so
to ponder a
much.
Stormwind mix-up. We did just pass by Teldrassil after all, so who's to say we won't pass by the obvious choice again?
Who's excited not even for pre-patch, for the auction house to come back up tomorrow?
I tried. Once we made it to Dunmorrow, however, that was when it became clear what our intentions were. Our spies were already reporting a large alliance defense bolstering in Ironforge.
So this is what I'm talking about.
100 men
Because it's
strong.
like you either play World of Warcraft or you don't. Because you have to be all in with this fucking shit. You have to be all in. You can't just half-ass it. You either do the World of Warcraft or you don't World of Warcraft. It's
Oh my god, dude, this is the most dwarven overlords I've ever seen, and they're all in Ironforge right now.
Dwarven Overlords, the most badass roleplay guild on Grobulus. They don't fuck around. Every Sunday, they host a meeting to update their Great Book of Grudges, a sort of kill-on-sight list, if you will, and most of us are definitely in this book. Always in character. If you want to deal with the dwarves, you have to do it on their terms. When I wanted to get this very shot, for example, I had to organize all of this in roleplay. So I had a diplomatic meeting in Menethil Harbor to discuss, hey, can I like come and film in Ironforge? And the takeaway was, well, yeah, but if we see you, we're gonna kill you. And they did, but just look at that shot. Ah, cinema. Once again, putting my life on the line for the shot, I crept up the mountain to the gates of Ironforge. Bad idea, but just look at that shot. Ah, cinema. As final boss were fighting tooth and nail in the entrance choke point, I received a res, only to be immediately one-shot by a rogue. Helplessly gazing on in horror for minutes, I watched as the Alliance not only defended the gates of Ironforge, but completely overwhelmed us too. According to sweaty PvP add-ons, there were as many as 250 Alliance at this time, 3 Alliance for every one of us. And to make matters even worse, our raids were split, making the classic mass res plus sapper strat completely ineffective. Well, so with the Alliance gathering around my corpse like that scene in Spider-Man 2, I executed Operation Distract. Greetings, I said, standing confidently before the Alliance. Hello there. And as expected, they took the bait. Their long bouts of mind control, drawing the attention of yet more defenders, all eager to get a piece of the famous beekeeper, was just the distraction we needed to get an advantageous position. Once enough of the Alliance were split, I uttered the go phrase, let it rip, and fled the scene.
Let it rip.
Was the video game equivalent of a sucker punch, a concentrated bombardment of sappers and AoE abilities, which completely obliterated the Alliance vanguard. We had taken them by surprise, and now was the time to push forward into the city. Clearing the gates of Ironforge, we stormed the main atrium and ducked into a nearby alleyway. So close to the throne room now, all we had to do was kill this long trail of guards and then engage King Magni Bronzebeard. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it to the AoE spot. The Alliance swooped in for another wipe, and at this point, morale had taken critical damage. Something I've noticed about very good WoW players is that if they become accustomed to an environment where losing simply doesn't occur, they will eventually be unable to stomach the very notion of a loss, much less the reality of one. If one wipe in Nax
over there hiding in the corner, love it.
So nefarious your bloodline will forever inherit your shame, it's pretty easy to see why half our numbers had already simply just logged off. After the grand blunder that was Silithus, where every Alliance guild turned on each other to the demise of their entire faction, the Alliance had finally come together to defeat an ancient evil. 7 Sages, Damage Networks, Obsidian Sun Company, Dwarven Overlords, Clover Club, Sundered, After Dark, Moonblade Sentinels, Phoenix Down, and so many more had made a grand stand at Ironforge to defeat the final boss of Grobulus. And with that,
damn, Yomi, when it comes to ads, you always seem to get like the most.
Long live Final Boss, 80 deep in Ironforge. Anyway, I slipped out the fucking back. I heard they were camping people's corpses and they were camping the graveyard, so you couldn't even spirit revive.
Sure?
So many fucking
Yeah, no thanks. I will take the train to Stormwind. Zoning into the Deep Run tram station, I happened upon Nymeria, the only druid I respect, and it just seemed poetic. An unlikely Alliance friendship served as the foundation on which I built an empire, and now at the end of this journey, it was an unlikely Alliance friendship which would see me off. I never thought I'd go into pre-patch side by side with an elf, but side by side with a friend? Now that I can do. So long, Classic, and thanks for all the... This is not the end of the video, by the way.
Well,
the Burning Crusade pre-patch had landed. Choose expansion. Wait, have they turned off my anti-aliasing? Yes, they did, and so much more. If you haven't played through a World of Warcraft pre-patch in your time as a gamer, you've probably been spending your time wisely. But allow me to give you the rundown anyway. It's basically where the game is updated to the next expansion's framework, but the next expansion's content is still inactive. But just because we can't access the next expansion's content doesn't mean to say there aren't new features to explore. Take, for example, the Dark Portal in the Blasted Lands, one of the most iconic locations in Warcraft history, It's now green.
Oh, they went and made it woke.
You can now link spells in chat anymore, and honor gains in battlegrounds are completely fucked.
Wow, wait, what?
Now that level 70 is the game's internal max level, level 60 battlegrounds aren't worth shit. Win or lose, such little honor is now gained that before my very own eyes, over the course of a 9-hour session, I saw the most despicable meta form. You just AFK. Yes, the situation was so dire, it was actually more efficient, more honor per hour, to just AFK, lose, and go next. And then naturally, because everyone wants to be the team that is AFKing, no one is actually playing the fucking battleground, making it take longer than if you had just played it as intended in the first fucking place. But that's besides the point. The real victim in all of this? Community manager Linksy. Imagine you're just minding your own fucking business, simply just doing your job, posting some bug fixes to the forums, and then you get swarmed by ravenous fucking beasts. Didn't ask. Fix the honor, or I'm AFK until launch. No one cares. Fix the honor.
Damn.
Like 234 honor for every win? Blizzard, you are a joke. Blizzard,
They don't hold back.
Everyone knows it's not supposed to be 200 just honor. Seriously, Blizzard, don't mind me just necroing this post for a video. Lol. Yeah, the battlegrounds weren't really worth the trouble, which is a shame because pre-patch gave me Mutilate and I really wanted to one-shot some noobs. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to do things the old-fashioned way, standing outside Maradon, spamming 1, waiting for a booster to exit the dungeon. You know the drill. Did Virgin and I camp outside this entrance until Battleground PvP was back on the menu? But of course. But if I might just rewind time just a bit, there was another thing the pre-patch added I just had to check out myself. In the ruins of Lordaeron, ignore this guy, we'll come back to him soon, I promise. There is now a portal to the elven city of Silvermoon, which itself is situated in the beautiful Eversong Woods. And what an utterly gorgeous zone, a treat for the eyes so rarely afforded to us Horde players. Sure, for you Alliance, it's all castles and culture, but I came up from the fucking dirt, literally. I'm not accustomed to this league of aesthetics. The golden leaves set against a perfect pink sky, the stunning marble architecture with its tasteful blood red accents, the necrotic wound running down the length of the okay, yeah, that's actually starting to feel a bit more like home. But I didn't come here just to smell the peace bloom. I wanted to do my part for the Horde and warmly welcome our new elf allies. Bearing gifts of gold and lucky charms, a small crowd had formed around me. It wasn't much, but if you've played WoW, you know just how far 1 gold can go on a fresh character. And the lucky charm is of course priceless.
One hit killing a player as a rogue
Barney,
is a
you're
lovely
scared,
feeling.
Lord Vit is
I
why
bet.
I started playing this game.
Hey, I've ruined this guy's life. I'm already in the pit, you understand? Like, you don't need to come down here with me. World of Warcraft is best experienced vicariously through anyone else. Just then, my Arathi Basin queue popped. It was another AFK fiesta. And when I got back, all the elves were naked. This is why I don't fuck with you elves. Never should have come here. It's like a fucking Uber Danger video. So how about that demon we saw back in Lordaeron, huh? What was that all about? Shadow Priests in pre-patch are really good. Like, how did we ever play without a Shadow Priest in our raid good? With the removal of debuff limits and a reimagined talent tree, Shadow Priests are now single-target powerhouses that can also heal the entire raid at the same time. And in TBC, we become even more powerful. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're here to talk about world bosses. World bosses! It's a fucking long video. There are many markers to signify a good guild, but what sets a good guild apart from a great guild, maybe even the best guild, is the ability to secure a world boss kill. World bosses combine the thrill of a PvE DPS check with the chaos of an overworld PvP objective. But because only one raid can get the tag, and the world boss comes with built-in pro-griefer mechanics, it becomes the most insane every guild for itself battle of attrition the game has to offer. And when you take into account the fact these bosses only spawn at best once a week, you have on your hands the ultimate test of your guild's coordination, execution, and willpower. I have literally had times where I wake up, fuck around at Kazakh for 12 hours, go to bed only to wake up and still be in the same war of attrition. And what could possibly be worth all that stress and repetition? You're
I honestly don't know which one would be my favorite.
Gear? Naturally, despite being released earlier in the game's life cycle, some of the items world bosses can drop are so good, should you acquire them, you wouldn't replace them until several phases into the next expansion. Which brings me to the Fel-infused legs. Dropped by Lord Kazakh, these shadow damage pants are just insane. When I say bis, I mean big. So I got to thinking, it's pre-patch. World boss loot has largely been outscaled by raiding gear, and layers are at an all-time high. Surely, if I just go to the blasted lands and hop from layer to layer, eventually I will get lucky. Wow, I can't believe I got lucky. And now for my favorite part, the part where I get to pass my selfish actions off as entirely selfless for good merit and glaive prio. Near enough, my entire guild has class swapped for TBC.
Every time I watch one of these World of Warcraft videos, it's like
going to say no to the opportunity
I'm reminded once again that to play WoW is a full-time job.
Let's kill this world boss I scouted for all of us. Let's all gear up together. Now let's talk boss mechanics. You must heal through his Shadow Bolt volley. You must cleanse his mana draining curse. And don't forget, you're on the clock. If you do not kill Lord Kazakh before 3 minutes, you will die. If you go you will die. And worst of all, if you die, he will heal for 1/5 of his health and free cast another Shadow Bolt volley. So do not die. Such mechanics require perfect execution at the very minimum, but honestly, this fight is so much easier when you don't have to also fight like 10 other guilds off at the same time.
Easy.
Nice, that was
Very good. Clean.
What we got? Unfortunately, my pants did not drop, but then I remembered that other big demon currently running around Lordaeron. What's his deal? He looks exactly like this guy. Well, turns out it's because he's just a copy-paste of Lord Kazakh. Same mechanics, same loot, just able to spawn in a few different locations during pre-patch. This is perfect. So I convinced the raid to continue this world boss train to Lordaeron. Come on guys, 5 minutes, in and out, 1 pull, 1 kill, just like we did here. How hard could it be? So we roll up to Lordaeron and pull the boss. And as expected, it's just a fucking easy 1 pull. It's just another dub for Murmur. Those pants are so close I can taste them. Wait, no, that low level just joined combat. No, you fool, you're gonna die. No. Oh, bosses. So next pull, we tank the boss off to the side and kindly ask the low levels to fucking know their place. Alas, noobs will be noobs. And now that the boss was for the first time since spawning actually being attempted in earnest by a visibly competent raid, the rats came a-squeaking. He says he's got gold. You're gonna die in 1 hit, dude. You're not in a raid. Just get out. No. With tensions building in the looking for group chat and randoms upset that they weren't being invited, it was chaos for the next 20 minutes. Obviously, we weren't going to be able to secure a kill under such conditions.
If you're not invited to the party,
tiring themselves out in their cute little pugs, we got to work summoning reinforcements to
best when your
double our
pants drop.
numbers.
You
Once
go.
our raid was full and the rats were on 2-minute resurrection timers, we swooped in to secure the kill. And it's just another easy server first for these grobulous legends.
Thanks everyone who came out today to let Murmur know they're not welcome.
What do you say fuck me for?
They are not our faction.
Who even are you? Alas, my pants went undropped yet again. What's a shadow priest to do? Because I'm not about to spend the next 2 weeks going from layer to layer scouting for world bosses. Oh, fuck. So I spent the next 2 weeks going from layer to layer scouting for world bosses. When I got a hit, I summoned in the crew of class traitors to feed them easy gear. Hey, remember in Scarab Lord episode 3 when I said, I'm gonna kill Azhagos? Well, I meant it. Any world boss can catch these hands because any world boss scouted and killed is more goodwill for me, and I will get those glaives.
Oh, Moosey, did you lose that roll?
Sometimes we were successful with a quick 1 pull. Other times we had to fight tooth and nail for what was rightfully ours. But when it came to Kazakh, there was one constant. No pants. Why? No pants. Kazakh, please, just drop your pants.
God, no pants.
That's rough.
That was fun.
Right, who's getting the demonic runes? Click comes. Who's getting demonic runes? 2 weeks later, I have killed
Sometimes
4
the game knows what you want,
4 High Lord
and they'll
Krulls, 7
keep it
green
away from
dragons,
you.
and 6 Kazakhs. And I am still without pants. I have spent near enough every waking moment scouting world bosses.
Running
Running
around with a big-ass censored bar,
my 8
covering them
the
clapping naked cheeks.
Even for me is a bit much. But someone's got to make the content, right? We can't all just watch it. So I log in at 7:51 a.m. to start my final shift. And who do I find standing right in front of me but Lord Kazakh himself?
While you're editing it.
So lucky. Unfortunately for me, TBC drops in like
Another
12
subtle
hours, and
merch
most people are either in bed resting up or out buying amphetamines. Usually when I'd find a world boss, the response time would be near instantaneous, but this time it took nearly 45 minutes of me incessantly calling people on Discord, waking them up.
Can you fuck off?
To scrounge together just enough people for a sketchy pull. But I've only lost out on one world boss this entire patch, so my ego is in complete overdrive and I will have my pants. I mean, this is about Guild Legacy, guys. Are we as Murmur about to let anyone else have a world boss? I don't think so. So we pull the boss, and for the first
I love how
minute,
she's just
damage
getting
is
like
good, and we're on track
told
for
the
a
fuck
kill.
off
That's
and
when
getting
a
suspended
random
from
rogue
chat
logs
and
in
shit.
and asks for an invite. Oh no! Could I have invited this random guy? Yes. Did I? No. I was bracing for the inevitable wipe, but luck must have been on my side because despite taking constant melee cleave and shadow bolts, this random rogue did not die. And when Lord Kazakh fell, he finally dropped his pants.
Yes! Yes!
Those gloves and
hand it over.
Finally, got some pants. Cover them cheeks.
Brothers and sisters, we begin our march for the
So a few hours before the Dark Portal was due to open, the Grobulous Horde roleplay community had one final event planned.
Roleplay war to the Dark Portal.
Come celebrate the opening of the Dark Portal in true Grobulous tradition. Starting from Gromash Hold in Orgrimmar, we are going to roleplay walk all the way to the Dark Portal in Blasted Lands. A final contemplative send-off before we rid ourselves of that indescribable classic magic and take one step closer into the retail abyss. Oh, Orgrimmar, the ultimate constant reminder of just how populated this game was. Never once did the masses gathering for world buffs fail to amaze me. This game was alive 24/7 in a way I have never experienced before. And even now, at the end of Classic, at 10 a.m., this game is still giving me things I didn't know I needed, like seeing a line of bears waiting for a Zeppelin.
Surprised this platform can bear all the weight.
No, but he makes a good point. What's the weight capacity of a Zeppelin? Does anyone know? Boarding the blimp 120 strong, it was obvious we were testing the absolute limits of Goblin technology, but if we crash, at the very least, we won't have to experience the Burning Crusade. But yeah, we just like roleplay for several hours. I wish I had more to say really, but I'm kind of grasping at straws trying to commentate over footage of people just walking. Like, we walked, and then we stopped at Karazhan for lunch. Like, this is very difficult. And yeah, I could write a good script and kind of tie everything up nicely, drawing parallels between this long roleplay walk and the long journey that is Classic, or maybe even the long journey that is life in general. But guys, I just don't want to do that. Okay, fine.
Have you ever thought about
Oh
adding
my
servers
God.
for previous expansions as they were then?
Will this?
No.
Will this? Like.
And by the way, you don't want to do that.
You don't want it.
You think you do.
You don't
but
want
you don't.
it. Do you guys just have? Do you guys not have
From the very
phones?
moment I could clumsily form etchings with a pencil, I was already telling stories. A dinosaur tried to
It's
kill
never
me,
gonna go away
but
from my
I
mind.
killed him. I jumped on his head. Of course, this is an English translation of the original text, but as the author, I can promise you this translation is accurate and approved. 10th of July, 1998. I wish I could get better at writing. It's 2008. I'm studying English literature and language with theater studies on the side. Can I get a yikes? I didn't really have a plan, but I knew I wanted to tell stories.
You couldn't get away from that shit.
Or both, or something. I don't know.
It's everywhere.
What do you want from me?
But what I really want to do, like, really want to do,
is play World of Warcraft all night with my friends. Can I get a hell yeah? Patch 3.3 just dropped, dude. Have you been to the Forge of Souls? The first boss music, he comes in, he's like... I will sever your soul from your body. And this is just the first boss of the first dungeon of the whole
Edgelord concert
patch, and I haven't even
commences.
started talking about Ice Crown Citadel, the raid yet. Best patch ever. How could school possibly compete? In here, I can be Decidius, Blood Elf Paladin, Defender of the Horde, and Anomalous Catalyst of Strange Occurrences? You see, it was around this time I first became aware of my curse, my chaos aura, let's call it. For some reason, when I'm in a video game, inexplicably random and oftentimes incomprehensible events unfold before me. I don't know why this
it's
happens,
like
but
what
something
happens to
about the way
Yomi
I
in every
candidly,
fucking
honestly
game.
interact with the virtual spaces seems to make them malfunction. Like I'm the glitch. I mean, you telling me people don't look at Barney Beekeeper like the motherfucking glitch? Like I shouldn't even be here? Dude, I was on the side of the box the whole time. It's in my code. My friends have told me.
Partying with you in an MMO makes me feel like I've taken the world away from that perk.
Yes. Here I am on twitch.television accidentally clipping through the elevator in Serpent Shrine Cavern and managing to get up into the rafters. That's pretty cool, right? Wrong. For the next week, because I had inadvertently discovered new speedrun tech, I was contacted by geeks asking me how I did it non-stop. Why am I haunted by a malevolent QR tester? On one fateful night, I queued up to tank Halls of Reflection alongside one of my friends. And considering this is one of my stories, the start was actually pretty good. We had slain the first 2 bosses and were making our way to the final encounter. For those that don't know, the last boss of this instance has you making your escape from the titular Lich King, who is slowly marching towards you with a one-shot aura. As Arthas raises the dead and ice walls to thwart your escape, you must kill waves of ads so that Sylvanas or Jaina can focus on the walls. If you fail the DPS check and don't bring down the walls in time, Arthas catches you, and it's game over, bitch. Unfortunately, on this run, my group wasn't up to the task. The Lich King caught up to us and he clipped through us and kept walking, and we cheated death. What you are looking at here is the only known surviving screenshot of Decidius the Paladin in the midst of yet another kooky scenario. A screenshot that only survives because my friend put it on Facebook 2 years later. Huh? As we were all celebrating having cheated death, Arthur suddenly one-shots the entire party except me because I had just so happened to bubble right before he did that because, of course I did. That was the night I made this YouTube channel that you're watching right now.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Was taken
Yomi,
because someone took the...
Yomi, you gotta start recording every single video game you play. Like, I don't care if you plan on making content. I don't care if you're streaming. If you're playing a game, you need to hit the record button. Cause it's all day, every day with you. Fucking shit happens. Every time.
URL. How does that always happen? It was like 2008. YouTube was barely a thing. I had decided to share with the world of Warcraft my strange adventures, my cursed dungeon
that sucks,
runs,
you could,
the guild dramas, all of it. And so I sat down to work. I opened Sony Vegas and looked at the blank project file before me. In here,
I think that's one of the reasons why I probably wouldn't have
in here I would craft
stuck to it if I didn't have like a group of friends with me.
Now, does anyone know how to make a video?
because I would want to be there for fun. I wouldn't want to be hardcore sweaty. I would just be there for fun and just to play the game. I wouldn't care about, like, I wouldn't be this hardcore about it. It's entertaining to watch, but to play that way, my anxiety could not. I could not at all.
It's 2019. Following my growing disappointment with Warcraft due to
it's that kind of bullshit you need to record.
Inconsistent character writing, terrible game mechanics, Activision, microtransactions, Activision, Volcera as a playable race, Activision, too many damn buttons, Activision. I have finally given up on World of Warcraft. Now,
I think Activision was mentioned.
I enjoyed World of Warcraft recently for all the faults surrounding artifact power, the unnecessary abundance of legendaries and Biss gear being locked behind bullshit Titan forging RNG. The high highs of Legion truly made up for all of that, and I don't think enough people appreciate how badly they could have fucked this one up, especially knowing what we know now. Blizzard brought back a long since canonically dead beloved character, added new story to recontextualize existing
This is from Barny64's channel.
The entire character's legacy on a crapshoot.
Barney Beekeeper Adventures, World of Warcraft Classic.
They made us root so hard for this villain that now people mistakenly remember Illidan as a hero first. And okay, whilst it's not that simple and we love him regardless, let's not pretend like this is a good guy. But that's good writing. Good writing makes you empathize with a villain. Good writing makes you appreciate, love a villain. But make no mistake, This is a villain. This was never a story about Illidan's redemption. This was always a story about Illidan's commitment to his condemnation. How he utilized his deal with the devil to take revenge on the devil himself. So badass. This is not a heroic self-sacrifice. This is one last true-to-character self-serving act of vengeance. This is a villain getting exactly what he wanted no matter the cost. Racism, slavery, torture, murder, genocide, every despicable choice, every sacrifice not his to make, leads him to his goal, and we applaud him when he gets there. That, my friends, is the genius character writing of Legion.
I'll take your word for it.
So just imagine my dismay when BFA happens. Where Legion had you hooked wanting to know what would happen next out of excitement, BFA had you questioning why any of it was happening at all. And honestly, I'm not even trying to get that deep into it. BFA was just horrible. It was the worst expansion to date at the time, and coming off the Legion high made that seem even worse. I found the state of the game to be so poor, so far from what made me fall in love with it, that I questioned if the love was ever there to begin with. Was the magic once real, or was I just a dumb kid who fell for cheap parlor tricks? World of Warcraft, the rotting corpse of a once great monarch. But no king rules forever, only death is eternal. But Classic is launching, and they already got my sub money for the year, and I have nothing else to do. Well played. And so I installed some add-ons and waited for the servers to open.
Deadly boss mods, I just installed it anyway. I don't think there's gonna be any, like, I'm not gonna...
As you can see, I was barely considering the possibility that I would even play this enough to experience a raid. I was just dipping my toes in. I was just Classic curious. I was just setting up an auto-clicker to get in on frame 1. Okay, so maybe I was a bit more excited than I'm letting on. In truth, I had been up all night in anticipation, wondering if lightning in a bottle could really strike twice. I wake up in the crypt alongside who else but Eddie? Just another name in the crowd at present. Who could have predicted our fates were already intertwined? Now at the time, I was only planning on playing Classic privately for my own enjoyment, with maybe the occasional stream if you were lucky. Sure, I had some loose
wasn't the
goals.
reason...
I want to become a notorious...
Wasn't the reason they made Vanilla or Warcraft Classic again after that whole bullshit they tried to say no one wants that? What didn't they make it because weren't there people actually doing, I guess it was an illegal server, but I don't know, it's kind of a gray area, but there were people that had the Classic WoW server, and there was like a lot of people were over there. It was really popular, and then Blizzard came over and was like, you're taking our customers from WoW not Classic. Shutting it down. And then they're like, I guess people do want this. Like, what the fuck? People said they wanted it. You didn't believe them. You gaslighted them into trying to make them believe they didn't want it. And then when people ignored your bullshit and made their own servers for it, you got mad.
Rogue that camps. I want to do streams where I just like... Oh, I guess I can't stream it because then people would know. I want to like camp the boats, the Alliance ships, and just like sap people who are trying to get on the ship. Not even necessarily kill them, but just sap them.
But I wasn't planning on making any kind of YouTube content. I was just playing for me. I was doing it for me. As a content creator, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you have to monetize every gaming experience. So it's important to keep certain games as games you're not going to turn into work.
It is hard to...
This is how I was treating Classic going in. This is for me.
Not think that everything you play or do
and my enjoyment
needs to be recorded.
Not even gonna think
it
about
is a problem these days.
But as we know, that's not really how things went, and here's why. In the undead starting area, you can pick up a quest named Marla's Last Wish that has you killing a guy for being the wrong kind of undead and burying the evidence. That is, of course, a gross misrepresentation of the quest dialogue, but I do not trust this bitch. Anyway, having done this quest more times than you could possibly imagine, I made my way over to where I knew the mob spawned.
And that's when I saw it in all its magnificent splendor.
Oh my god, my eyes!
My British eyes could barely believe it.
Well, my American eyes are blinded.
Perfect cue. Gamers waiting patiently in line for their turn to kill the quest mob. A scenario so profoundly absurd. It was magical.
This is so good.
Seeing this queue, experiencing this queue, immediately reignited a long since dormant
Thank you
flame.
for the bit.
This wasn't just a queue. This was
How you
fate reminding me
doing?
that this game is a special kind of catalyst for ridiculousness. The kind of ridiculousness that can inadvertently shape your entire future. 11 years ago, I could not realize my dream of becoming a Warcraft storytelling legend. But that first step put me on a path I never stopped walking. And now, 11 years later, my dream represents itself before me. Only this time, it wasn't video if. It was video when.
5 years later. 10 years later. 20 years later. Oh, my fucking well, stop it. This is so extra. The emotions.
World of Warcraft Classic was the perfect catalyst for me to finally realize my long-held dream of becoming a storyteller. It gave me the perfect opportunity to prove to myself that I wasn't just a dreamer. I wasn't just a washed-up League of Legends cringe lord with nothing more to give. I was everything I thought I was, and more. And the path doesn't even end here. Not everyone has a dream. Fewer still get to achieve them. But for me, I got exactly what I wanted. So, when I hear this guy say...
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
This guy. This
The amount of times I've heard this clip and the other one.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Ass. It's just standing and hitting.
Oh my god. Very inspiring.
It's not long. My entire life has been gaming. Do you think I have stories? Yeah, this one time when I was gaming. Doesn't really work, does it?
A tale of two graves. Yeah, the video will release in the next 3-ish years, maybe. But no, that's another good one by Barny64. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was definitely an adventure. Who wants to play WoW now?